Hello YouTube, how you guys doing today? Thanks for stopping by, being a passenger on the P Reacts Daily Train. I appreciate everybody that's been coming by and helping out with the channel. Please like, comment, subscribe. It really helps out, especially since I'm a newer channel. Also, it helps with the algorithm. Don't forget, this is not a substitute for the original content, so go over to the original artist, watch it on their channel, give them a like, show them some love. Also, we don't redistribute any of the content, so we're following all the copyright rules. My name is P, and we'll get started on this video as soon as we see our disclaimer. Alrighty, today's video, we're doing some of the warning, and this is the Zach Sang show, and this is going to be part 3 of the video. And let's get right into this and check it out.
Special.
Yeah, it is.
It's also the safest way to take on this.
Family.
Yes.
It's special.
Yeah,
It is.
It's also the safest way to take on this journey, you know?
For sure.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
You all get to win.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
win-win-win-win situation.
You guys spent a lot to time together, huh?
Yes, we do.
Yes, especially it's fun in a bus for 2 months.
Yeah.
glad
I
I'm-
mean, we've always lived together.
Yeah.
We're
Yes.
sisters. But working
Working
for
together.
10 weeks, 15 people in a bus, that's different. That's
it's different.
definitely an experience for sure.
Yeah, I'm sweating just thinking about it.
Yeah. I mean, you're sharing bathrooms, you're sharing showers, you don't
Or
have,
not
like,
showering.
You're sleeping in a coffin. Yeah, or you don't shower
Or you
at all.
don't
Especially in
shower.
Europe, they don't have showers almost like
In the bus.
anywhere, like
bus,
in
yeah.
the
In the
bus.
buses.
Yeah.
And you have to shower at gas stations with your whole
Oh,
team.
what?
It's really cute.
Or at venues,
Bonding
yeah.
time. I've actually I've washed my hair. Well, like someone
the
in my team
sidewalk.
was carrying me on the sidewalk. Someone who put a
water bottle.
on my
Yeah.
head. I would shampoo.
Oh
So
my
like you grow very close, definitely.
Exactly.
But I mean, I feel like we have a very healthy touring routine.
Yeah, we do.
I feel like people would have issues, but honestly, we all respect each other a lot, and we know that we're human and that we're not going to have good days every day. And it's like we usually just say like, "Hey, I feel horrible today. I am having such a bad day. Don't talk to me unless you have to, and I will do my job. Thank you." And everyone's like, "Okay, got it."
got you.
And that's it. Yeah,
That's a team
exactly. Teamwork.
and a family.
Are you guys able to separate yourselves as like sisters and bandmates and coworkers, or is it all kind of blend into one?
You know, I don't think it's very easy to completely separate it, but it's something that we have in mind. And since we've been doing it for 10 years, we kind of like, even from the beginning, we kind of knew that it was something that we were going to have to do if we were going to keep our sanity.
Yeah, and I feel like people view it as like this very hard thing to do,
Yeah.
but I don't struggle with it that much. It's like when we're working, I feel like people are more polite when they work with
Yeah.
like their coworkers than I would be to my sisters if I were to say things as they are. So,
true, yeah,
so
that's
like
true,
if
yeah.
we're working and let's say that I mess up on something, my sisters are probably not going to come to me like, "You suck. You're like the most horrible sister for doing this." It's like,
No.
"Hey, can you practice a little bit more?
Yeah,
We
and
need
it's-
to
And
do
it's
this
not
correctly."
a personal thing.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just like for the better of everyone and
Yeah.
for the band. It's just like, oh, you're messing up in this part.
More than
like,
anything, we have that
practice.
very like
Yeah,
And
very
at the
clear.
same
Yeah.
time, it wouldn't be the other way around of like, hey, what do you think if you could? 'Cause I
No,
feel
it's like, hey, I
have-
need you to
oh
do
my
it.
God, Yeah.
and that's it.
more than anything, we're business partners.
Okay.
Like we're
Totally.
a band, but we're business partners, and we have like we know that it's like
not
the three
personal.
of us all the time. So the three of us have to do like put in the same work or more work or whatever. It's a balance, but we know that it's because we love each other. Like it's for the best of the band and for.
Yeah, that's the thing. See, a lot of people too have a hard time with that, especially in the United States. Because in my early days, I worked, jobs in management and stuff like that, and I've had family members, in-laws, all kinds of different people that worked for me. I'd help them out, and I'd tell them, at work, I'm the boss, you're the employee, we're not related, so you got to get that out of your head. But not one of them, not one of them could separate the two. They always would want to take advantage or whatever, you know, thinking like, well, I can get away with this, you know, because it's my relative or whatever, and it would never end up good because I can completely separate the two. I like my whole mental state goes to like work. So it's like you're not related, you know, you're an employee, and you know, I ended up firing I think pretty much every one of them. And you know, they'd get upset, but I was like, you know, that's what I said, would you do this at a different job, you know? And you're thinking I'm gonna be lenient to you because you're related or whatever, but see, I don't see it that way at work. So yeah, so I see what they're saying here. You got to be separate. You got to separate the things, and business is business, home life is home life, and you got to treat it that way. You know, don't talk to me about home while I'm working, and don't talk to me about work when I'm at home. You know, just separate everything.
Us like
We have the
sisters
same
as well.
goal.
Are the three of you writers on every song?
Yes.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Why is it so interesting?
No, it's the right way it should be.
I mean, I feel like that's the way it should be as well, because we're a band, and not only like
Not
do
every family band operates that way. Okay?
you're right.
Oh,
You're
I-
totally right.
I know.
Yeah, maybe. I mean,
Yeah.
personally, it's the thing that I enjoy the most.
Yeah.
And I feel like what you want to do with your family and your loved ones is share that, like share the things that you love the most.
I agree.
Yeah, so it's
I
just
agree.
a big bonding moment.
Yeah.
Sometimes that bonding is not that cute. Like
Sometimes it's really frustrating. It's stressful. I feel like that those are the moments where we fight the most.
For sure.
Even as like family, like we don't fight that much, but when we're writing,
Yes.
things get interesting. But
Take
hey,
a
we
breather.
we make it work.
Yeah,
we make it work.
But we understand each other so well, especially when we were writing with other writers and we would get stuck and they're like, I need the verse. Like, I still need it even if you're stuck. And we would just like slave at it as best as we could. And if I would get
Hustle.
stuck, Danny would like help me get unstuck. So it's just a very big like team effort.
Yeah, you
all the
work
time.
together. You understand that it's a vision that takes all three of you. You all have roles. You work together for each other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Oh, that's a nice way to put it. I love that.
It does, like, it could get really, I'm telling you, it's weird. Like, as long as the three of you are creatively involved, I think everything will be balanced. The second one of you or two of you become not creatively involved, and then there's like, you know, points on the table and who gets publishing and who gets writing credit. And
Those percentages are always like very
oh,
fun.
it will just, I mean, I'm telling you, cautionary tale, don't do it. Just like keep each other in there.
Yeah, it's like
for sure.
I mean, there's usually like if you're in the room, but we usually try to like be more than in the room. It's like you're not just gonna stand there and watch everyone else write the song. It's like, hey, we're already traveling, we're already doing this, and we want this album to be like our album.
Exactly.
So we're all very conscious that like we want to be
And
in it.
Don't
we
get
all
greedy.
have to live with these songs for the
Forever.
rest of
Yes.
our lives.
We have to play
wanna be
them every day.
You know what? We all have to love them. We all want to be involved.
But I'll tell you this, don't get greedy, because I'm telling you, greed is what's going to destroy it.
Probably. I mean, that's usually how it goes with everyone. So
No.
Like literally,
greed.
No greed.
literally watching it. Like I'm watching it right now, not here in front of me, but like,
I was
you know,
like,
there's a
oh my
parallel
God.
situation
Are you seeing the
happening.
future? Okay.
It's interesting.
Okay.
I'm not talking to you about it. You're crazy. You shake your mouth.
I don't know what you're talking about.
This is not the setting. This is not the time. But it is like working with your family is a blessing and a curse.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it
again,
is.
I feel like we've managed throughout these 10 years to really set a system in which it's more of a blessing than a curse. Because right now we're at a point in our careers where I feel like things are happening and it's really scary. But I feel like there's so many factors in these situations that could like make us grow apart, like that could cause some rifts or differences or that type of thing. But we've been doing this for 10 years, so we know how to handle that.
Totally.
Like we have enough experience with that in a sense that it can make us like grow closer together.
And I'm so
instead of
glad
the
for
other
those
way.
10 years because our system was not like this forever. You
Totally,
know, like
yeah.
it had its like ups
You
and
had
downs.
to go down
Yeah.
before you can figure out how to stay up.
Yes,
at least
exactly.
kind of in the middle,
Exactly.
you know?
So to have those when everything was way smaller was a blessing.
I really appreciate that.
Yeah, like just remember that you're family and you can't really get
Exactly.
another one of y'all.
Exactly.
And nobody's going to understand.
Yeah, that's the other thing too, is like your family. So it's like you could have these big blowout fights or this, that, and the other, but in the end of the end result is it's still your family. You're still going to see them on holidays. You're still going to see them around. You're still going to do that. So you get over it quicker. Whereas if it was a friend and you have one of these big blowout arguments or whatever, you may never see them again. You know, it might just end your friendship. You can't just end your familyness between you and your family member. So, and even if you didn't see each other, you're still family. So it's not like, well, that's not my friend anymore. That's not my family anymore. It's still your family, whether you want it to be or not. Now, the friend is different because that don't have to be your friend, but that has to be your family. So, because that's literally what it is. So, yeah, so I see what they're saying, and yeah, it makes a lot of sense. So you can get away with more with your family members, but you also understand them more too, so it allows you to forgive and forget quicker.
And you or know you, like the three of you and your mom know each other, and like nobody's gonna live and share the same memories that you all share together. Like you can't.
Yeah.
No matter how hard you look, you'll
Yeah.
never be able to find another fucking person who can supply that.
Exactly.
Yep.
And we're talking about how like blessed we are for that, because like even like my parents and my team who are in the same room as us like every single day, and they see everything that happens, it is so different. And I feel like it could be really isolating if I were to do this alone. But like going up on stage, like doing the meet and greets, meeting the people, sharing your music, creating the music, playing it live, it is such a unique and peculiar experience that you really can't explain what it entails emotionally unless you live it with somebody else. And we
Totally.
live the same thing.
Even making the TikToks, man.
Even making
making
the
the
TikToks.
TikToks,
Yes, we see each other through all of that for
It's
sure.
really special.
Yeah.
And
you
you'll never be able to duplicate that with anybody
Yeah, no,
else.
for sure.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any other brothers or sisters, or is it just the three of you?
No, just the three of us.
That would
was
be
so mean.
Didn't know, if
Never
anyone,
know.
didn't know if anyone was left out of this whole thing.
No.
I think
No,
no.
The personal assistant. No, that'd be
No, that would be so horrible.
No,
I'm
it's
glad
like-
it's just three. Yes.
You have like a brother who's like figuring out how to play tuba. Like you guys are all playing rock instruments downstairs. He just wants to be involved.
No.
Just wants to find a place. By the way, you can listen to Keep Me Fed. That is the album. It's waiting for you on Amazon Music. The Warnings discography waiting for you too. QR code on the screen or I'll link below. What are you thinking?
Well, virality doesn't last forever. So when Enter Sandman was going viral, how did you guys say like, all right, let's actually turn this into something and not just be gone in, a day?
I love that question.
I feel like it's so
because
important.
So important.
We just started working like real freaking hard. But I'm talking like we were playing festivals and like booking gigs in bars that would kick us out because we were too young. It's like you're not even 18, like you can't be in here. So we'd be going to these shows and just trying to like share our music as much as we possibly could. Social media as well. It was such a
Very
big
big
thing
part
for
of it.
us. Like we would just constantly be active on social media.
And a lot of rehearsals because we're like, if we want to prove that we're good, band members, we kind of have to like show that we got the skills.
Yeah,
So
like-
we just kind of like rehearsed.
I mean, seeing
So
three
much.
little girls on stage is already like, like, what's going on? Like, people were not ever going to take us seriously. Even sometimes now, it's like,
Yeah.
So, like, we knew that we had to have skills to, like, demonstrate and play our music and prove, like, hey, like, we can
I
do
can-
this.
yeah.
Thank you. Yes. So we really put in, like, the time.
Yeah.
We rehearsed
of
so
hours.
much. Like, 5
And you can really tell they put in the time. It's because, man, every one of them plays their instrument like a master. Every one of them can sing very, very well. They all have their own quirky little attitude on stage. Danny with the faces, Pal with she does her own faces and her actions, and then Ale with her stance she does and her rocking and her hair flips and stuff like that. So yeah, they mastered pretty much everything. I mean, they really put in the work to become like experts. But yeah, let's get back and see what else they're saying here. Let's back this up a hair.
in, like, the time.
Yeah.
We rehearsed
hours.
so much, like 5 hours a day,
Yeah, it was
every day
insane. It
for
was insane.
years.
But that is really something that people face all the time, right? Like between
Yeah.
2019 and like 2022, we see more one-hit wonders than we've ever seen before.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is because like they don't have the goods to back up what they just sold, or like we're just given by the algorithmic gods. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
you don't have the
I get that.
discography, or they don't have the skills, whatever. Like it could be a combination of both.
yeah.
So the algorithmic gods bless you, and
They
you
did.
just
We're very
The part of the problem too with the music nowadays is not only do they not have the chops to back up what they're doing, they just happen to got lucky on that one song or that sound they created for that time. But a lot of the music now is not even like real music. And I understand that because when I was doing my music, it was all generated on the computer. I made all the music. I wrote all the words. I did the male singing. And then the only thing that was not me was the female singer would come in, and I would hire them, and they would do the singing for the female portions and touring and stuff like that. But yeah. So I kind of understand what they're saying, because playing the actual instruments and the music live and actually playing it rather than, because the generated music sounds like maybe too perfect. So by playing the instruments and stuff, you get them imperfections or them sounds that are just a hair off, which makes it seem better because it's live, you know. So that I see what they're saying.
very lucky.
you just focus on being great musicians.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically. And we're very conscious of like the steps that we were taking, and they seemed like little steps because we had a huge boom, and then it was like, after that, what do you do? So we're just like taking all these steps and keep thinking of the goals that we had and what we had to do to like work for them, and eventually get there.
It worked because ultimately, like, you could have gotten signed after that cover and it
Yes.
and
Right.
not
Well,
been good
they
musicians.
tried to.
Been, yeah, I'm sure they did try.
Yeah.
And like been forced to like play this role that you weren't really ready for.
Yes.
But instead, you just you practice, you cook, you perfect, and then you get signed when you're ready. And once you're actually
Exactly.
right, because you get
Exactly.
signed years after that.
Like
Yep.
Yes.
8-9
And
years.
honestly,
Amazing.
like, even our parents, like, we focus on like doing like practicing and rehearsing all of that, but like our parents were the ones that got like mails with like offers of
Offers.
like shows and this and that. They were like, this is not who we are. Like, we would talk about it and we were like,
Yeah,
this
we were
is like even for our parents, it was all like so new.
Our poor parents have like never done anything in the music
Yeah.
industry, and they were getting like these record deal offers and like mails and gigs.
what is
And they're like, oh my god, what do we do?
Yeah, 'cause
but they handled it.
I feel like
amazingly.
I feel like we should say like no one in our family is a musician until
Just us.
So like
yes,
everything about this world was new to us.
new to us.
We all grew together and learned together.
And
You
I
get
feel
to
like
figure it
we-
out together.
Yeah. And we learned how to like obviously like aim for the like shoot for the stars, but be very grounded in what we could accomplish and what we wanted to accomplish, and how to like how much we needed to grow in our skills like professionally to be able to take those steps. Because I can't imagine like signing a deal after like our big boom.
But that
like we
happens.
didn't have a sound. We weren't confident as like songwriters.
Writers,
Like we
no.
would have been like given songs to play, like an
Yeah.
identity, like so we were able to step into this record deal with a fan base, with an identity, with a history, with touring like in our
Yeah, with
pockets,
ticket
like,
sales,
yeah, exactly.
you know?
Yeah, like we could fill clubs.
Yeah.
and that's how we went into this label. So like
Yeah.
that's such a
Oh,
blessing.
wow,
Like that's such a
yeah.
good thing to have. Honestly,
Interesting.
Happy about that.
Listen to the warning. It's all on Amazon Music. Final thoughts?
Is it just weird? I just realized. Is it weird to like be speaking English to each other for an hour? Or is it
We're used
normal
to it
at
by
this
I've never
point?
thought
we're
about
used
it,
to it. I
actually.
feel like
now.
we're used to it by now. It's like
Yeah.
it's like the sister and like work thing.
Yes,
This
Yeah.
is the work part, and it's like it's just
Yeah.
normal.
it's automatic.
Yeah.
now.
It's automatic.
No one had ever asked us that. I had never thought about it, and I feel it's like when you write a word too many times
And it sounds
and you're
weird. Yeah,
like
it looks weird.
weird.
Yeah.
I feel like that now with English.
How'd you learn English?
Oh,
School.
school, books, and TV.
TV.
We would
For
watch
sure.
American TV all the time.
Yep.
So
One of the coolest compliments we get is when people tell us they watch our interviews to like learn conversational English.
that's how you learn, actually.
legit, by
But when we
listening.
started working, our English was not great. You can
No.
hear us in our first interviews, and it's like, what are they saying?
Like we had our first like when we were gonna have our first interview, we took like media training.
Just like for
lesson.
pronunciation.
But I was like 8 or
We would
something
put
like that.
our
yeah.
pencil in our mouths and
To
just kind of like to
pronounce.
pronounce
Things
Yeah.
correctly.
Really?
Oh.
That's a technique?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
for
is.
singing as well. Like when you're recording vocals
Oh, you're right.
and like you're not pronouncing things correctly, you put a pencil in your mouth.
And speak like
Yeah,
that
speak
for like
for
a
a
whole
while.
time, and then you will kind of get it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It works.
Like sideways. Like
Diction.
you bite it.
Yeah. I was
Not like-
yeah, you didn't point-
Imagine no one
Swallows the pencil.
take the pencil point first. Yeah, that'd be weird.
Yes, that'd be very weird.
Horizontally is not weird enough. Got it. You good?
Well, you said one thing a few minutes ago, how people don't give you guys credit for being like women in a rock band, or they kind of like give you a weird look.
Yeah.
Why is that, and how do you overcome that?
Oh, we hope we knew. But
I
like,
mean, why is that? Because that's how the world is, sadly.
The world is sexist, Daniel?
Yes, I mean,
Misogyny affects everything?
I didn't want to be the one to say it. That's why I was asking them.
but honestly, it's pretty. I mean, we don't think about it all the time. Like, oh my God, we're women and we're in a band. But I know that people think about it all the
Yeah.
time. When we
Yeah.
step on stage, it's the first thing that they see. And sometimes people can see beyond
Past
that.
that.
They're like, oh, it's a gimmick, or like, oh, they're just like industry plants because they're women and they're playing. But it's great that with our music we can like change that type of like perception.
override the system in
And
their
that's
brains.
why we rehearse. Like we
Yeah.
go to these stages and we know that people expect the very worst from us. And we know that we're not only representing like ourselves, but we're representing women in rock, or like Mexican women in rock.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like we put in the work so we can like change people's minds in a way, or like just
perspective.
open the door for like curiosity of like, oh, maybe they're not that bad. And like that leads to change most of the time.
It's true. It sucks that you have to speak with your music first, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Like
music
before
is
they
a
even
great
look
tool.
at you, you want to just play.
Exactly.
Yeah. But at least we have
See, now, I think of that differently. When I first got introduced to them, I didn't think nothing about, it's like, oh, they're women, they're gonna be bad, or any of that kind of stuff. I think maybe my first thoughts were like, oh, it's a female group, because you don't see that much. So that's what sparked my interest. I'm like, oh, that's different. But it was nothing negative. It's like, you see a female group. I mean, I listened to female groups growing up too. I listened to the Bangles and the Go-Go's and all these different groups in the 80s and stuff. And so to me it was just kind of the same thing. I think maybe anybody who started really listening to music from the 80s and past that maybe not has that attitude. Maybe that's like people that started listening to music before the 80s, like the 70s, 60s, 50s, maybe like the boomer generation, possibly. Because I don't think, because like I said, most of the stuff in the 80s, there was no like that kind of thing, you know what I mean? And I've talked about this before, like with racism and stuff. And the racist stuff, I think the 80s were the best. It was the best time. Everybody got along. Everybody was communicating with each other, doing things together. And then now it seems like things started getting worse over years again. So it got from worse to good. 80s was the best. And then 90s were okay. And then after 2000, it started going back more like racist type stuff. It's like people were, I don't know, it's just weird. And I think a lot of it has to do with the media too. I think the media fuels a lot of that garbage just to keep people fighting. So, the government can do things or maybe distract or whatever, but I don't know. But anyway, let's get back and finish this out.
that tool.
Totally.
Exactly.
Like,
And I feel
yeah.
like people get that because like music is the language that kind of like connects us all together in that sense, and especially in the live setting as well. That when you accept the music, it's like it doesn't matter who's on stage.
Who's on stage? Yeah.
And I hope that like other little girls, other Spanish speaking little girls can see this and make music that maybe they didn't think was like for them, Because I
Yeah,
think
of
seeing
course.
this and hearing this, I don't know, can unlock potential, or just somebody saying that they can't because they didn't, couldn't see it. You know what I mean?
That's
Happens all the time.
fantastic.
Exactly,
I
that
mean,
is.
if we can do that, I would be
No,
extremely
even
honored.
just once, it's a big deal.
Yeah, exactly. It's an honor to be able to do that with your music. I think inspire others to do stuff.
I
So,
think it's part of why we love
yeah,
what we do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Keep Me Fed is the album. It's coming. It's coming in June. But go to their artist page now on Amazon Music. Code on the screen. Link below. Final thoughts?
Last question is: are you guys going to stay living in Mexico, or are you eventually going to move out somewhere else?
I hope we stay
Oh.
living
I
in
hope we
Mexico.
stay in
Yes,
Mexico,
me
yeah.
too.
I feel like in the
It's home.
past we were like, oh, we want to live somewhere else, but after touring so much, even like in different parts of Mexico, like I can't. It needs to be Monterrey.
It's
It just feels like home.
We've traveled all over the world, and honestly, I'm very biased probably, but
For sure.
Mexican food, Mexican culture,
so-
like just all of that, nothing
Compares
at
to
least,
it.
yeah, like nothing has topped it. Honestly, I love home.
Home is where the heart is, Daniel.
I'm looking at pictures. Looks nice.
Las montañas.
Looks like a nice place.
Yeah.
Anytime you guys
mountains.
want to visit, we'll show
Yeah.
you around.
We're surrounded by
For
mountains.
sure.
Mi casa es su casa.
Muchas gracias.
De nada.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah. I understand Spanish.
Nice.
Like,
Yeah, thanks. Anywho, good morning, everybody. Thanks for being here, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Woo.
You're awesome.
Oh, thank you. You guys too.
All right, very nice. That was a great interview. There was 3 parts to this, by the way. We had part 1, part 2, part 3. Just because of the time, it was a long video. It was like 50 minutes. But yeah, that great. That was a subscriber request. Thank you for that. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It helps out the channel a lot. You beautiful people, have a great day, and goodbye for now.